Bonjour! So we are in Kreeh Peeh Creek and this is world hopping. So what is Kreeh Peeh Creek? It's a world I made back in 2014. I'll need to check that, but yeah, I think it was around 2014, and it's inspired by Canada, the British Columbia area, and northwestern US. So, like, I'm going to say the Seattle area, and that's a world I made from scratch. I'm pretty sure the distant terrain I used is the one from Bridgeport, and it's one of my retired worlds. So what are these? Let me show you. What I do is that I sorted out the different worlds I've made or I'm planning on making into different categories, and so the first one is the retired worlds, and here there are a few worlds I'm not playing with anymore, but I still have pictures, stories I've played in them, and I think the first one, called Weekend, might be empty right now. Yeah, I've had issues transferring data from my older computer to my newer one. Around 18 months ago, I think I changed computers, and I lost quite a few files. So I still have the Create a World file for Cool Weekend, but right now I can't find the pictures, and I had even videos on that town. It's not the case for Kreeh Peeh Creek. So this one, it's now a ton of things. So everything is there, the different characters are here. Did that go by us? I don't remember playing with them. Yeah, I'm going to tell you a bit more about that world using pictures I had taken. So for instance, 2014, you're going to have a ton of pictures that are not really sorted out. So I was playtesting something and I would take a picture to see if it was working, what was not working. For instance, here is the stadium I did at that time. The locker rooms under the bleachers that here. And I don't know if I kept that road here. Not sure, don't remember exactly. But yeah, it was here. That was where I had a stadium. What's the deal with that world? First of all, it's big. It's very big. It's a world I made for a project. How am I going to do that? I made it back at the time. I made it because my little cousin Mad was going to go to Canada at the end of that school year, and for 3 months, and then she was going to go to school there extra. So to sort of prepare the whole thing, I made a world, and we had her simself go as an exchange student to that city. So we did a student exchange program, and the people who are going to welcome the students were different sim families that were from the different EU worlds, and I made them over just for the world and then used them in that world. So for instance, Mad, the family she was matched with was from Riverview. So that world is one of the main reasons I started recording videos, because I used to take so many pictures of the same damn thing. So this cutie here is from Riverview, Grisby, I think. Let's see. So yeah, so that's Laurel Grisby, and they were living in that house and I gave her a dog, and that's her parent. So they're from Riverview. I think I might have switched a few traits maybe, but I've tried to keep them. Well, it was a makeover of a existing sim, so I wanted to keep the vibe of the existing sim there. So my little cousin Matt himself, and that was her application here. Yeah, we wrote it in French. And so at that time I was part of a forum, the Sims Daily, and I'd shown a few pictures there. And I asked around if someone else would like to send Sims. I think I might have asked Sandy from Around the Sims. She shares stories about her Sims in Around My Sims, and Matt himself has been there. So I asked her if she could send a few Sims my way, and she did. She did send 3 of them, and so they got matched with, let's see. Okay, so the different applicants who first got picked were, so Laurel, where Matt went, Natasha. Oh, Natasha, yeah, that was fun. Originally, her family is the household is a EA1. They're all EA1s, and she was originally from Starlight Shores. Liz is from Bridgeport. She lived there with her mom, and I gave them a dog. And Lisa is from Sunset Valley, so I had them live in the military compound. So Sandy sent Cheryl who matched with Natasha. It was a very good match. And then, so she went to live with Natasha. And then we have Lison, who went to Liz's. And, oh yeah, Liz's already, I think, was Lisa. But then we had 2 Lisas, 1 Lison. And then there was Priya, who who went to live with Lisa and her family. That was a lot of fun too. Lisa's younger brother, he kept following Priya everywhere. So I translated that as he having a crush on her. I still had 2 Sims I had prepared who could have exchange student. There was Piper, Sparks. I don't remember from what city I got her. I'm going to say Lucky Palms. Oh yeah, so she lives with her father, and she didn't get chosen. So I didn't really, well, she was around, but I didn't get really to play with her. The last person who got chosen was Jade Greenwood, who is, or her family is originally from Twinbrook, and that was fun too. So she got matched with the only boy of the lot, and that would be Porter Holden, who is from Enexia and from my friend Bachiba's game. She sent me Porter, and he got matched with Jade, and shenanigans ensued. Well, they started right at the train station when they arrived, actually. So the train station that's the railroad. So the train station is there. Well, the lot is there. I don't have it here because, as I've said, I've retired the world, so I don't really have a save file with the different lots in place. I'll talk a bit more about the world and what I'm planning with it. So, yeah, they arrived here and everything was going fine. You know, these 2 are teachers at the school they were going to. They were the one in charge of the student exchange. And I don't remember where they are from. Maybe Appalachia Plains. And I'm going to say Twinbrook. And yeah, try to have them right in the mood. So these are a few of the inhabitants in Kreeh Peeh Creek. The idea being that it's creepy. Cheryl was going to be hosted by Natasha's family. And so you can see the two very different styles there already. That's the beginning of a crush. And then that's Liz and Lison. They got along just fine. It was very sweet to see them. And then at Polar Greet is host, so Jade here. And so here he comes. Oh, yeah. She escaped from the asylum that is on an island. I'll show it. Well, I don't have the building anymore, but I can show you the island. He's already making a move. Poor Priya. And yeah, I got the little hearts above their heads. That was something. Her mom, she kept coming in between the two of them. Every time I was around them and they were flirting, and her mom was trying to get his attention, but he wouldn't give it. So yeah, so that was the train station, and off they went with the families. And I have different stories. I did 1 full week every time with them. And sometimes I had to check on, for instance, Cheryl, because she wasn't going at the same school as the other ones. So I went back to see what Cheryl was doing. So that was the goal here. And once I was done, and done the whole student exchange program, all the students all the borrowed SIMS went back home, and I closed that world down and I retired it. But some people were interested in having it on the forum. So on the SIMS Daily, the forum where I was sharing pictures, and it is a very big world. The main reason is that it's because at first I was thinking of having rabbit hole buildings instead of building the different, like the city hall extra. And the rabbit hole buildings are very big, so they need to be on bigger lots. And then I changed my mind because I really don't like the rabbit hole buildings. I was like, since it's in Canada or America, I can use rabbit hole buildings because most of them look like something that would belong there. And I just couldn't. I need to know where my SIMS are going. I actually built a city hall here. I think it's CC3, but it's big. It might be one of the biggest lots. Let's see. We are downtown, yeah, 64 by 64. So see, it's huge. And this is big too. Those must be big too. That's what's supposed to be the country club. And I removed quite a few things because when I first shared it, I had a pretty good computer at the time. And I was thinking that maybe someone else would have difficulties to play with such a big town. So I did an episode, I'm going to link it on the screen, from the archives. I did an episode where I'm talking about the 3 lots I had here, which were a theme park with rides to go on. It was big and I only used it once, so I removed it and instead I placed like a jogging track, let's say. So that they can, just a trail, so that they could, jog along the seashore like that. They're in the beach below, so that was a bit the idea here. So still, the town is still very big, and oh, I do have a meanwhile Cheryl here. I think, yeah, you can see her sailing. So that part here, it's over there. They're over there. The lighthouse was there. Oh yeah, the road. All the streets I tried to, I was having fun with the name of the streets and the different roads. Oh, one of the schools was there. So this is big too, 64 by 64. As you can see, there are a lot of 64 by 64. So big lots everywhere. Here I had over there a motel, and okay, it was inspired by Psycho here. This was the military compound. It's enclosed, the area. I had a few houses, and there was also the science center, and then yeah, there was secrets there. Had a lot of fun with this one to have a story with Lisa Punch doing mischief and taking Priya with her. Then this is supposed to be like a fishing village here, and then over there it's a more wooded area. I had a huge log cabin here. I was thinking maybe a touristic venue, and there was the canal here. I had a pancake restaurant over there, I think. And then here it's more of the countryside, so there was the huge farm. Also, I wanted to have the lots from the store and not change them that much, you know. So this one was the grandpa's farm, Grandpa's Grove farm, something, the one with a tractor. So since I had the lot, never used it before, so I placed it there and had a family from Riverview, I think. Oh, this one here, I think. It's the one with Grimmy Manor or something. And it was actually the cemetery. So I had it there. The idea was to have hints of supernatural included in that world, but I tried to have regular gameplay, and then sometimes you have weird stuff happening. And then at the end of that road here is summer camp. It's this area here. I had put pictures on the forum, and so there are a few buildings there. It's a campground, and there is a lake and a nice view on the water. It's called Crystal Lake Campground, and there is a very nice head counselor who is looking for help here. He's a sweetie, actually. He still lives somewhere in my game, not in Kreeh Peeh Creek though. So there is an access here to the top of the waterfall here, where I had a lake. So it's a lot. So I built a lake, and there was quite the view from there too. Over there is an island, and on that island I had the old asylum. So the island was only accessible by the sea. So the bridge is broken over there, and someone, a police car, tried their luck, and yep, didn't end well. That's a quick tour of the world itself. So as I've said, I shared it. It might have been in 2015, but there are still quite a few things I could change so that it's more playable, because I don't think it's very playable, like for a main world. So it would be empty. Maybe, I don't even know if I would keep City Hall, but the idea would be to remove the biggest lots and try to have, oh, there is a pathway here. There is a trail over there, and you can go here. Back to the main topic. So this world I can share, but yeah, I'm thinking maybe I can share a version where that is more playable with smaller lots when you don't need big lots. And one of the things I'm thinking of doing might be to remove the different lots here. We don't need all these. I have a restaurant here. I had a restaurant here. And here I do have lots. This one was with, well, I think this one is this one. So that's the restaurant. This one is here. So it was actually where they could, the Sims can take a boat. So with a very small lighthouse there. And this one, I don't remember if there was anything here instead. Oh, I had okay, so I had a fake boat here. So I can remove this one. And this one, there was quite a view from here. It was a seafood restaurant here. And as you can see, all the lots that are in the middle, these here, I actually put fake boats that, well, decorative boats. So instead of having lots, maybe I can have, I think there are decorative boats available in Create a World. I can have them there instead. And then we can remove all those lots. Okay, I found the pictures. I hadn't added the parking lot yet here. But here, this is this one here. And then here I had put a couple of boats just for show. And then we are at the end here where I had added a bench. Cheryl is so happy to be there. Natasha was in her element there. So that was that area over there. And then I don't know if I keep these. So what I'm thinking of doing, oh yeah, I had the Bunch family have a picnic there. Well, I think if I remember well, they picked the location and I was like, what are they going to do there? And then someone had a picnic basket, so I had them have a picnic. And yeah, such a nice place to grab a bite, you know. Anyway, so yeah, now I might rework also some of the terrain painting and add maybe in the forest. I think I saw that I did the pathway, the trail like that, but I might add some more color in the forest itself. So I can share it again once I've reworked a bit more the world, and I can add maybe a couple of CC items. So I was thinking I'm going to try this one because it's for Create a World. Okay, I'll try for this episode. At the end of this episode, I'm going to Create a World, and I'll try and see if it works. And yeah, the idea would be to know if anyone is interested. What would you like me to do there? So right now I'm thinking I'm going to remove a few lots in the harbor area, and then I'll see if I can dig up my ferry boat, because I think it was CC free, and I have a few lots that are CC free. Here I had a haunted house I made for the forum, and I think it was also CC free, and it's not that huge, so I might have quite a few lots. Do I keep the big one? So this one should be at least those two should be the correct sizes for the lots I had in mind from the store. And then do I remove a few more lots? Do we need a lot here? Maybe not. Maybe just the road that leads to the lighthouse. And the lighthouse, I don't think there is CC. Maybe the fence? So that's from the store. So that's from Roaring Heights. But is the fence from... I'll need to check that. And then I still have a few lots where here it was a very residential suburban neighborhood with a house inspired by The Incredibles house. You know, the cartoon, the animated movie, The Incredibles, the house, very 50s looking, and I had it a bit different every time, so that it was a cohesive neighborhood here, suburban neighborhood. Here, that was the model house. It's in another world, though, because then I shared it, I think. Okay, so here we are in Create a World. So, yeah, I've put quite a few spawners I can remove because you can still add them also on a lot. So, first, let's see if it works with the boats. So I'm going to remove these ports. Okay, I'm still keeping the version I had, so I have saved that version before I'm making any changes there. I still have the other version. So I have the boats here that I've downloaded from Leroy 157 on mod SIMS. And the thing is that it's the same boat every time. So, or do I have them like that? And I have like a pontoon, a deck. Where am I placing them to? Oh, okay, in the FX. Okay, so it's just to see what I can do there. So let's see. I think Frankie did. What of the pier? Yeah, maybe this one. You see, I can have it like something like that. So it's just decor. Then I can place the boats so that we can pretend they are accessible like that. You see what I mean? And have different pontoon like that, like piers. I'm a bit hesitant because they are very similar. That's why I had the lots, I think. It's because I wanted to be able to customize the different boats. Let's delete this lot 2 and have boat here. Maybe I can have like 2 piers like that, and then the boat at the end. Or that, or I have them on the side, but then I can have like 3 in a row or 2, and I don't know. I don't know, I'm not sure. I don't want to spend too much time on that world. As I've said, it's a retired world, and also I don't know what if it's going to be any use for anyone. So if you're interested, let me know. And if there are enough people, I might work some more on it and see what I can do to change, to make it more playable. Maybe replace the big lots here by smaller ones. And because we don't need to have that many big lots, or you'd rather have the lots a bit more spaced out so that it doesn't take as long to load. Here I had apartment buildings. It was a bit more the New York vibe here. I had brownstones buildings. I think it was this one. It was the house from Up. I played there and had Mr. Fredrickson who lived there. So the other houses, they looked like that. This one was the basketball court here, and with the back of the buildings, and that's where Liz lived with her mom, where Lison from Sandy Valley spent some times there. So right now, what I'm thinking of doing, because it doesn't take long and I can do that during my spare time, I'm going to remove those lots, have the road go up to there. I don't know for these, I had a couple of mansions there, and I'm not sure for downtown, so if you have any ideas, if you have any wishes, what do I do there? He had quite a few lots there. I don't know if I have a better picture. That's Cheryl and Natasha going back to the boat house of there. So that's here, what there. It's Port Authority that I had there. And those were just containers, but it was a residential lot for an unhoused sim. And this, I think, was a tomb. It was a warehouses, if I remember well. Okay, I found a map I had done at that time when I shared the world the first time, because I had buildings were available on other threads or on the store. So that's why I put that here. So here was the harbor area over there, so you can see the ferry boat here. And what was that? Oh yeah, I think it was a car dealership. Yeah, that was a nightclub. So this is a nightclub, and this one was a store, and this one was for boats. Maybe it was, I don't remember. And that was the Mexican restaurant here. Okay, so that's yeah, another map here. Not the map I played with. I played with a map where there was, here it was the theme park. So the gist of it is that I can rework Kreeh Peeh Creek and have it more playable so that I can share it again, but a more playable version, I guess. So if you have any ideas, because again, I'm not going to play again in that world. It's done for me. It's in my retired worlds folder. I'm done. I'm good. But if you're interested, there might be a few store items there. Don't think there are, except so maybe some road signs, but I don't think I've used the poppies. I don't think I've used them in the world, but they're on some of the lots. So I'm not sure you do need to have those store worlds installed so that it works. Yeah, the big question is that, do I keep the big lot? Also, what do I do with the harbor? Do I have it? I might try and have it a bit smaller, but I don't want to change the whole topography of the world. So I'm going to keep the peninsula like that. So that's it for this episode. Again, if you have any ideas, I can have a community post, or we can vote on something, on what direction to take it if need be. It's world hopping, so I'm going to hop to another world soon, but I can come back to it if it's interesting enough. Here, to end the episode, a few pictures of it. That was a view on the city in the distance, and that was when there was still the theme park here, and as you can see, a lot of sailboats. Maybe I can have them in Kreeh World instead of having lots there. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in a next episode. À bientôt!